Hi, this is Jeff Blauette, technical agronomist with Cooperative Farmers Elevator. And on this week's Field Friday segment, I hate to be the bringer of bad news, but I wanted to show you some things that I'm seeing out in the field that you need to be aware about what's happening. We all know what a struggle it's been this year to get herbicides applied and to have effective control. This bean field is an example of that. This is a no-till bean field. We did what I would consider a very good program of pre-plant, post-applied and residual herbicide. This field's even been retreated. We did Liberty twice here. We still have some water hemp here that I can show you some pictures of some stuff that's, it's been burnt, has not been taken down. It was just too big when it was sprayed. And then, you look at some of these, we fried a lot of growing points, but we didn't get them all. And now we're starting to see some of these are going to survive. You do a road scout on a lot of these fields, they look fine. I'm going to tell you, we're going to see a lot of ugly bean fields in August. You can't see it from the road, you probably won't see it from the road. There's going to be a lot of cornfields that are going to be subpar as well. We just have a really tough time controlling weeds in a year like this. A lot of it's because of timing. We really got kind of behind on some spraying with some wind and some rain early. We also are battling, of course, water hemp gets tougher and tougher every year. We're losing more modes of action that are effective. And then we get into these situations like we had this year. This field, we had a little bit of pressure, so we went with a little extra high-end program. We did get this one applied before the heavy rains, and especially on the western side of our territory, we had these flooding rains. So this one had maybe 2 days before a 10-inch rain, and so our residual that we put down that we expected to help obviously was diluted out probably the day after it was put on. I've got a picture here. You can see the little ones that kind of started to come here once we dried out, got some sunshine on the ground. Of course, we don't have canopy all over. You can see we had a lot of little ones coming, and we fried those off. Those were small enough to control. Those are going to be good. We need these beans to canopy though, because the longer this sun hits the ground, if we get another shot of rain, we're going to have some more probably try and germinate and make it through. These that we didn't kill are also going to be coming through. I'm afraid what we're going to see in August is an awful lot of disappointment, and nobody knows it yet if you haven't been out in your fields. It's going to be very few fields that we had a good control and that are going to stay clean all season. I think we're going to make some assumptions, go on vacation, we're going to come home and see some things popping through. Get ready for that. We've even got some volunteer corn here. This is no-till. We typically don't run into as much volunteer corn in no-till because we've got a lot of the grain or ears are laying on top of the ground. This year we had enough rain where even that stuff is germinated. These weren't here when we sprayed the first time, and they germinated. There's an ear laying on the ground with a few kernels that germinated, so that's also happening, and that's it's probably more of a thing on no-till. But there's really nothing we could have done different here. I mean, I look at the thing. Sometimes you look at, well, if we'd have done this, if we'd have done that, we'd have had a better situation. There's nothing we could have done better in this scenario. Mother Nature just holds the final card, and she played the wrong card that we couldn't handle. Again, we're dealing with a really tough adversary here, and if you don't have everything go your way, we're going to have some of these things pop through, and we're going to go backwards on our seed bank this year. Just be ready for that. I hate it as much as you do. We all do. The key is, and I think this field's an example, we had really clean fields early. It held a long time. Our pre-plants did a good job. We had rains on these bean pre's. They worked really well for a long time, but we're not canopied yet on all these fields, and that's the best control you can have, is once you get everything shaded, you've got a better chance. Even those survivors, we may shade them out and they may be less competitive. They may throw a few seeds, but not as many. But if we've got fields that aren't canopied, areas that aren't canopied, they're going to come roaring through. They're going to be a tall weed plant or weed here later and throw a bunch of seeds. This doesn't even get into the fact that we've got these areas that were drowned out that don't have any competition. Maybe we put in some sorghum or Sudan grass or some type of a cover, but there's a lot of water hemp coming in those bottoms too, I see, and I don't know what we're going to do to control those necessarily, and I wonder if they're going to get addressed. So they're going to be a problem continuing too. So I just want to make you aware, this is nobody's fault. If you want to blame somebody, she doesn't have a checkbook. It's Mother Nature. It's really, that's what it's all about. It's not the chemical company's fault. It's not our fault. It's not the applicator's fault. It's just the reality of what we're up against right now. And I just wanted to lay out the facts and some of the examples of what we're going to see here. So just wanted to make you aware of what's going on in the field. If you haven't been out there, we've been out looking for aphids yet. There's still aphids out in the beans. We're kind of wondering what the weather's going to do. Are they going to continue to expand, or are they going to stay where they're at? We're going to keep watching, but as we're out there, we're seeing some of these things too, and you might as well if you've been out. So just wanted to make you aware what we're seeing. So with that, that's this week's Field Friday segment, and we'll see you next week.